Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, today we're going to start our declutter series. I want to go into 2021 with a clean and organized makeup collection. So I want to go through and get rid of everything that might be expired, old, or that I really don't enjoy. For this video, we're going to start with base products, and that includes primers, foundations, concealers, and powders, as well as setting sprays. Also, before we get started, I just want to keep in mind that this is not going to be a cutthroat declutter. If I'm able to get rid of one or two products in every category, that will be fine with me. But this primer section, I don't think I'm going to get rid of too much, if anything. So let's get started. So this first one here I'm going to keep. This is actually just a Pixie setting spray that I took the label off of and cleaned, and I just put water in it. And I use this for refreshing my face or for wetting my eyeshadows. And then this is kind of the same thing. It's an Evian water spray. It's almost empty, so I'm definitely going to keep that and finish it up. Of these primers, I already know the ones that I want to keep. For sure, I want to keep the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is one that I really enjoy, and it's almost brand new, so I want to keep using that. As well as the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. This one's also almost brand new, so I'm going to keep that. And then, let's see. Another one that I've really been enjoying is this NYX Pore Filler. I don't have large pores at all, but when I use this, it gives me a silky, smooth canvas for my foundation to go on. And I've been using it lately and really liking it, so I'm going to keep that. And then this NYX First Base Primer Base, it's a primer spray, and I honestly don't like it for that. I've tried it many times as a primer, and I feel like it doesn't do anything. But this is really good for re-wetting my eyeshadows, so I'm going to be using it for that. I might put it in my eyeshadow drawer just so that it's all together. So I'm going to put that separate over here. And I have my little basket here, and this is where I'm going to put all my decluttered stuff. So another one that I really like is this Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Again, like I said, I don't have large pores, but for some reason I really enjoy these pore minimizing primers. They work really well for me for some reason. I have really dry skin, and it just seems to give me a really smooth canvas to work off of. So this Honeydew Me Up primer, I've been through a lot with this thing because I haven't figured out how to use it properly. If I use too much, it starts to ball up and pill on my face. But I just used it recently according to how someone else uses it and their recommendations, and it seemed to work much better. And I really like how my foundation turned out. They suggested not to use too much of it and just to use it mainly on the spots where you need it the most. So I'm going to be keeping this, and eventually this might be in a declutter again. I just want to try it some more before I decide whether I do or don't like it. And then this is the e.l.f. primer. This is kind of a luminous primer, and it's more of a lotion consistency, and I really like it, so I'm going to keep that one. And then this Wet n Wild Dewy Primer. It is very, very glowy and shimmery, so if you use too much, you might look like a disco ball. But if you want a luminous look, you can mix it with your foundation, and a little goes a long way. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this and keep using it and decide then what I want to do with it, because sometimes I like it and sometimes it's a little too shimmery for me. So I'm going to give this another try. And then this is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer, and I do like this as a primer. Again, it's very glowy and dewy. You could either just put it under your foundation or mix it with your foundation to get a dewy look, so I'm also going to keep that. It's almost empty, so this might be one that I want to try to use up in 2021 because it is not cruelty free. So as you can see, I didn't get rid of any primers, but I kind of expected that. Hopefully with the other categories, we can get rid of some stuff. Alright, so these are all my setting sprays. As you can see, I don't have too many. I don't really use them on a regular basis. So let's go ahead and get through these really quickly. So this Urban Decay All-Nighter, I love the All-Nighter formula, and I want to keep this because it's a good travel size for when I'm on vacation. And then this is actually a Hard Candy Coconut Spray. I have it in here because the original nozzle for that bottle broke and I wasn't able to use it. I actually don't use this as a setting spray. I use it to spray my eyeshadows again. So I'm going to go ahead and put this with the NYX First Base Primer Spray that I don't use as a primer and stick it with my eyeshadows so that I can use it to re-wet my eyeshadows. And then this Milani Make It Dewy Spray, it's almost empty. I really love this stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it and finish it up. This Milani Make It Last Matte Spray is brand new. And I have this other one that is a NYX Matte Finish Spray. and this one's older and this one's brand new. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give the brand new one away to someone who could use it, because I have dry skin and I don't use matte spray that often. I only use it in the summertime, so I don't need two. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the new one and keep the old one. And then last but not least, I have this e.l.f. setting mist, and I really enjoy this formula. It smells like coconut, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. Alright guys, so right now I just have one item that I decluttered, and we're going to continue on with foundations. Alright, so these are all my foundations, and I have quite a few. I also have some foundation mixers. So first off, these two foundation mixers I really like. To lighten up any foundation that might be too dark. I also have this yellow one in case I have anything that might be a little too neutral and I want to warm it up. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all of these three. And then the two foundations that I've been using recently are these L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundations. I have 201 and 203. I have to mix these because this one's too light and this one's too dark. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these and use them up. And then this foundation is the 205. It's a little too dark for me, but it works in the summertime, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. And then the Wet n Wild foundations, I have these two, and this one's too light and this one's too dark, and I like to mix them together to get my perfect shade. So I really enjoy these foundations. I'm going to go ahead and keep them. The only thing I would say about them is the smell isn't that great. These are actually the older formula, so I think the newer ones now don't smell, but these ones do, but I'm going to keep them anyway. And then this CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation I really enjoy, except I noticed that it leaves me white specks. They come off easily with a brush, but it is something that's really annoying. I've heard that it's because the foundation might be expired. It happened to me the first time I used it when I first bought it, so I'm not really sure if this was from an old batch or something, but I'm still going to keep it because I like the finish. And then I have this L'Oreal True Match Foundation. It's a light color in a warm, and if you are light skinned like me but you have a warm undertone, you know that it can be really hard to find really light foundations that are warm toned. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. It's a great mixer to add to any other foundation that might be too cool toned or neutral. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And then I have all of these foundations that are practically brand new. I bought them when I was doing makeup for other people, and so they're way too dark for me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pass these along to someone who could use them. And now I'm left with these three. This is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. This isn't my perfect shade. It's an F2, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it because I haven't used it that much and I want to continue trying it out first. This one is also one I've used a couple times. It is a little too dark for me, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well so I can continue trying it out. This one is in vanilla. Like I said, it's really hard for me to find a perfect foundation shade, and that's why I have to use those mixers or a lighter foundation to get my perfect shade. And then this last one is a Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer. This one is intense, you guys. This one is full coverage, and I remember having a really hard time taking it off at the end of the day because it's like paint for your face. But I'm going to give this one a couple more tries because I feel like I haven't really used it that well to get a really good opinion on it. And this one is in 1505 Beige. Alright, so these are all my concealers. This is one that I'm definitely going to keep. I'm almost finished with it, as you can see. I want to see if I can use this up before the end of December, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and I absolutely love this concealer. I really wish it was cruelty-free because I would definitely repurchase it. It's nice and creamy, and it works for my skin. A couple other ones that I want to keep are these ones from Maybelline. This one's a brightener, and then this is just a regular under eye concealer, and I like to use them together, and they're really creamy. I would definitely say that Maybelline makes the best concealers at the drugstore, so I'm going to go ahead and keep these. One that I can definitely get rid of is this Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. The color is way off for me, and it's super orange, and I don't think I would be able to do anything with it, and it's kind of a thick consistency, and I really haven't enjoyed using it, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. This one I purchased when I was doing makeup for other people, so it's super dark for me, but I like to use it as a contour shade. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one with my cream contours in a different drawer. Now I have this NYX Dark Circle Corrector. I don't know if they make this anymore, but I really enjoy it. It's like a salmon color, and it's perfect for under eye dark circles or any darkness that you might have on your face that you want to color correct. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Then I have these e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealers. These are the original ones. I have Fair Warm and Light Sand, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I honestly didn't like these at all. I tried using them multiple times because I know that people raved about these, but I honestly don't like the formula. They're super drying on my dry skin, and they dry so quickly that it's hard to blend them out, and it just looks crusty and dry on my under eyes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these two. Then I have this NYX Above and Beyond concealer. Again, I don't know if they make this anymore, but I know that Juicy Jazz here on YouTube really likes using this to carve out her brows, but it's really full coverage and I like using it to spot conceal, so I'm gonna keep this. Then I have these two yellow toned concealers, and like I said, I have kind of a yellowish skin tone even though I'm pretty fair, so these I like to use to mix with foundations or to mix with a concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and keep both of these. This is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer in CW10, and then this is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Light Yellow Corrector. Alright guys, so these are all my pressed powders and loose powders. Right off the bat, I want to go ahead and keep this L'Oreal Hydra Perfect powder. I've been using this one lately in my makeup routine and I really like it. I also want to keep the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I have a lot of this left and I want to use that up as well. It's a really good powder to have, but they're not cruelty free, so this might be in my project pan next year. One that I can get rid of here is this e.l.f. yellow powder. It's super yellow and I could mix it with like a translucent powder to get a good shade for me, but it's just extremely yellow, so it just doesn't work for my pale skin because it just looks like I have a yellow streak. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I'm going to go ahead and keep this Maybelline Fit Me powder. As you can see, I have pan in it and I want to go ahead and finish it up. Then I have this Milani Prep Set and Go. This one actually shattered on me and I repressed it. I haven't given this one enough of a chance, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it and continue using it. Then I have this LA Colors powder. It's slightly too dark for me right now, but it might be good for the summertime, and it's practically brand new, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Then I have this Rimmel Stay Matte Press powder that I'm going to also keep, and I swear everyone who has this powder has had their lid break like this. I swear every single one I've seen has a break like that, but the packaging isn't that great. This kind of slides off, but it's a good powder to have for touching up, so I'm going to keep this. And I have this also in the powder category because it has this yellow setting powder, and as you can see, I really enjoy that powder, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. The bronzer is also really good, and this brand is obviously super inexpensive and cost effective. Then I have these two Maybelline Better Skin press powders. This one is a little too pinky and this one's too dark. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick this one with my bronzers and contours because it's too dark as a pressed powder. And in this one, I'm going to go ahead and keep it and see if I can mix it with a different shade so that it doesn't look super pink. Then I have my face palettes here that I also keep with my base makeup because they contain face powders. This is one that I really enjoy. It's the LA Colors Makeup Contour Palette. It's a super inexpensive palette, but as you can see, I've used it a lot. A lot of these I had to repress because they were nearing the edges and I wasn't able to get a lot of product out of them, so I repressed them. And this one I used up completely, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. This is also one that I really enjoy. I need to repress this one highlight because it's completely shattered, but I love the bronzers in here and the pressed powders, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And then I have this really old BH Cosmetics 6 color palette. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I don't use it that often, and I don't know. I feel like someone else might be able to get better use out of it. This really dark brown is super, super dark, so it's too dark for me. And the blushes don't really excite me, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. And then last but not least, I have this Anastasia Contour Kit, and I do enjoy this a lot as well. As you can see, I hit pan on this shade, and then this one I also did, and I repressed it. I also repressed this one here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And that is everything for my face product. Alright, so this is everything I got rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. So I think I did really good for that category. I'm going to make a separate video at the beginning of 2021 of my makeup inventory and collection. So be excited for that in the future. Again, I'm not trying to get rid of everything. I just want to make sure I'm keeping only the things that I like and enjoy using. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for my next one, which is going to be blushes, bronzers, and highlights. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you guys next time.